going on, people? Welcome to Live Palace News. It is Sunday, the 5th of January. And trust me, the news was coming in by the hour today. So, of course, I'm joined by Lou here to discuss all the latest. We've got incomings as well as potential outgoings. Even though we didn't expect any, there's been two names that's been mentioned. As you can see from the title, another new player linked to the football club. He's a midfielder. What are we trying to do? Because there was another midfielder that we're going to talk about that we could make a new approach to. So there's a lot. There's a lot going on with Palace. As always, people, even if you're watching on replay, please hit the like button if you do enjoy the content. Last match reaction, over 300 likes. Last Palace news, over 200 likes. If you want to do it, I know we can. So please, let's make sure to hit the like button as it helps out massively. And thank you to all of you. As a result, I've tried to respond to more comments in the comment section down below when videos are over, and as a thank you to everyone that have got any questions that go unanswered. Louis, how's your Sunday been?
Yeah, man, proper chilled. Watched the two good games. Watched the Palace news roll in. Looks like agents are working overtime, but yeah.
Yeah,
Check out.
He's working overtime. It seems
Yeah,
like.
I've done the player ratings with Pat as well, so check that one out as well.
Yeah, that one will be in the comment section down below. We'll pin it, but then that's already posted as well. So make sure to check that out in terms of the player ratings after this. So there's loads of Palace content coming through. Opposition preview next week, and match previews. Everything's getting sorted behind the scenes as we focus on FA Cup. But as we've said all along, we need players. Well, that's what I think. Anyways, that's my opinion. We need at least two players. So it's good to see that there's news coming through. Big up to everyone that's joining us live. Bollocks, Colin, the man on guitar. I think we're working on the assumption that Hughes is leaving, unfortunately. Interesting. We'll talk about midfielders, why we're being linked to them. Louis saying, do you reckon Glass is trying to cover for Wharton and Chake? Look, we're going to get into it. In terms of, as the news comes in, we're going to go through all the comments as usual, people. Glass are trying to play the 5-5 formation. Liked and shared. Appreciate it, Red Bull, and appreciate all of you that's joined us live as well. Let's start off with Jobe Bellingham, not Jude. I have to say it again before someone says, oh, we're not getting Jude Bellingham. Jobe Bellingham, who was linked to Palace over in the summer. According to Graham Bailey, there's another link that Crystal Palace are ready to make a bid to sign Jobe Bellingham from Sunderland. That's a surprise. I'll be honest. I was not expecting this link to come back because, one, I think he's doing well in Sunderland and he didn't want to leave there in the first place. And two, yes, he can play as a number 10, but he's more of a midfielder. And I want to sit down on this midfielder news because there's another one that's coming through. But before we talk about midfielders in general, Jobe Bellingham, Lou, we haven't spoken about him before. You weren't on the channel back then. Is this the type of profile that you think we need?
Do you know what? I haven't watched much of Jobe Bellingham. He's definitely built physically for the Premier League. I don't know if it sorts out that right 10 role, but like I've always said, maybe a hybrid player who can play 8 and a 10. But Graham Bailey isn't the best source, so I'm a bit skeptical about it all. He's just signed a new contract with Sunderland. I'm not going to sit here and turn him down. He definitely would feel like he's trying to be a stepping stone with Palace. It would definitely cost upwards of 25-30 million. Yeah, a lot of people rate him, but there's a small sample scale of him playing.
Yeah, and I guess he's versatile as well because, I mean, I know you in particular, and not just you, a few other Palace fans that I've seen online have mentioned that we need another midfielder potentially. Why do you think we need another midfielder? Because I disagree with you in the fact that we do need one. Yes, I do agree with you there, but we don't need one in this window. I think if we get one more, that's enough. Due to the fact that we got Wharton, Decore, Lerma, Hughes, there's a solid 4 rotation there. For me, I wouldn't mind a youth player or someone that's not going to expect a lot of game time as like the 5th choice midfielder. Could Deven even play that role? I'm not too sure. But do you want a midfielder as like a central midfielder rather than a number 10 in this window? Because you mentioned right wing back as well, which I disagreed with you.
I feel like we lack technicians in the team. If a deal's there to be done for a midfielder who can play the ball, pass the ball well, receive on the back foot, receive with their back to goal. You saw how effective we were when we could switch the play from one side to the other with wing backs. I think we lack that. It doesn't look like Wharton is coming back anytime soon. it then relieves the pressure on Wharton to come back quicker than usual. And maybe if the deal's there to be done, I think Lerma will be going into his last year because he only signed a 3-year deal. Maybe, I don't know. This will be his next year. Will be his 3rd year. Hughes is getting older. So if a deal's there to be done and you can get a player who you see a future with the club, then why not invest now and help the club push on? But obviously, it's not most people's priority. The priority is a left wing back and a forward. But I personally think the squad needs 4 players. Obviously, you can say a left wing back and a right 10 are the number 1 and 2 priorities. But after that, it would be a centre midfielder and a right wing back.
Yeah, I think Jobe kind of fits into that category because I do think he can play both roles. But in terms of this being realistic, I don't really see it happening. I think they'll ask for a decent amount of money. And second of all, does he want to leave? He could have more options over in the summer. So, yeah, he's been mentioned, but I don't really see it happening. But I thought, bring it on here anyways because he's been one of the names that's been linked to us in the summer. And yeah, I think David Oza could potentially have that 5th role.
No? He did. David Oza hasn't played enough games this season. He'll have to go back on loan again somewhere.
How old is he?
19.
19. Let's see what happens. But yeah, Louis agrees with me saying, Faxi probably won't happen, but if it does, it'll be massive. But let's move on to another player, another midfielder, which is this came from Fabrizio Romano, so a bit more of a reliable source, and he said that Crystal Palace have made an approach to lend midfielder Andy Diouf, not the left wing back Malik Diouf, it's Andy Diouf. Apparently that has been rejected as they don't want to sell him in the January window and no intention to proceed. So it seems like we tried it, but it's done already. Just a quick no. However, he's a midfielder. Again, another midfielder. He's not number 10. What are we trying to do? I'm genuinely confused because I asked this question in our chat as well. Why are we... I mean, Jobe kind of makes sense because he can be versatile, but why are we linked to central midfielders? That's not really going to solve our problems. We need forwards, as you mentioned. If we're in a budget as well.
Yeah, I understand. I understand what you're saying. Again, like we said, most people's priorities are the left wing back and the right 10. But the centre midfield is a big problem at the moment. We are struggling with transitioning through our midfield. And Glasner needs 2 players who are fully fit all the time because they require so much work rate. And big up T, he was scouting Andy Diouf from before. He said that we should have gone for him before we went for Decore. He's playing at Lens under a really good manager. What's his name? Will Still, who was the Rem manager. If he was on Twitter, there's all those tweets about Will Still because he never had his coaching badges.
Yeah, football manager.
He's a top manager. He's a top manager. Speaks English, French, Belgian, Flemish. If he trusts an 18-year-old to start for Lens, he's obviously got a great profile. And if there was a deal to be done, then I would be happy for that. But they've rejected the approach. And yet again, Fabrizio is paid by agents and stuff like this to put stuff out in the news. So it's very hard to know what is concrete and what isn't.
Yeah, it is. Louis saying, I think rotation in that centre mid position is slim at the moment. I agree, it is slim at the moment, but when Wharton comes back, when Decore, which seems like he's 100%, I don't know. No one knows. This is the problem that I have. If we're on a budget, when Wharton and Decore come back, then we're not as slim in that position. However, we will still be slim in the number 10. Like, we need number 10s. There's no number 10s coming back. That's the problem that I have.
There is a number 10 coming. I just think if there's a deal to be done, then they should
Who's number 10 that will be coming back?
No. There'll be a number 10 coming in. I don't think if we sign a centre midfielder, it means we don't sign a 10. I feel like that will be 3 players.
I just think with the
money... There's no way
we
don't sign another forward. There's no way.
That's what I'm saying. That's why it doesn't make sense to me because Glasner said that he wants 2 players. So if you sign a centre mid, and we know wing back is 1.
But if you're playing like you haven't got money and you're on a budget, you don't go, we're going to sign 4 players, we're going to sign 3 players.
Yeah, I guess so.
You play it down, said we ain't got that much money, we're only going to sign 2 players, then bang, there's 3 or 4. We don't know. But if there's a deal to be done for a quality centre midfielder who can help improve the team, then the deal should be done. But the priority is a forward backup for Mitchell.
Yeah, Malcolm Ibue is the 10 we need. França is a number 10 coming back. França for me will be down the left hand side. It'll be Eze França battling out. I think down the right hand side, even we need another number 10, but when we do get it, conversation will be had because I don't know how that rotation is going to work down the right hand side. Does Kamada become a number 10 option down the right hand side?
It's
Saar is an
whoever's
option
playing
there.
best plays.
Yeah, but I think Kamada will get barely any minutes then, really. If we sign another number 10, because I think Saar has solidified his position there, and it will be someone battling Saar. So I don't know what happens with Kamada, but yeah, look, France will be coming back, but France doesn't change what we need going forward because France will be playing down the left hand side.
If worst comes to worst, we can sell Kamada in the summer, and maybe we sell him for 5 million, but that covers half his wages for the whole time because we got him on a free.
Yeah, exactly. That could be a possibility. By the way, people, if you're just joining us now and haven't done so already, please hit the like button. We're on 43 right now already, which is fantastic. Let's see if we can get up to 50 or 60. There's about 86 people watching it live, and I know a lot of you watch on replay as well. So thank you to all of you that has done that already. Let's move on to the next bit of news, and that is on Jeffrey Schlupp. But there's a twist. We're not going to be talking about Jeffrey Schlupp alone. According to Alan Nixon, Jeffrey Schlupp, Crystal Palace are ready to send Jeffrey Schlupp to Blackburn Rovers on loan and clear the way for a full-time exit. Thank God. I mean, with all due respect, like I'm tired of having players in the squad that are there for the sake of being there. The former Leicester City winger fits the profile that Blackburn want. However, the twist on this Jeffrey Schlupp story is that Schlupp's exit could help Palace pull off a move for Senegalese left back El Hadji Malik Diouf, who we've been linked with. Prague, in terms of the asking price, Prague have asked for £20 million, and that is more than Eagles are willing to pay for the African defender. So we can combine Schlupp to Malik Diouf. First of all, let's start with Schlupp. Yes, please. I mean, with all due respect, I think he's been a good servant for us. He came in when Big Sam was at the football club at the same time as Van Aanholt. But Glasner doesn't trust him. You can tell. The Villa game kind of sums up his season so far. He didn't even start the game, but he still got subbed off. And I'm just tired of having players on the bench for the sake of having them on the bench. He had his moment at Crystal Palace. If you want to progress and become a side that is competing for European spots, Jeffrey Schlupp is not the man to have in your squad. So I would be happy with this. In terms of your thoughts on Schlupp, I guess you're on the same page. There isn't much to say. I just hope it happens because I was not really expecting that many outgoings this month.
2017 January transfer window he came in, wasn't it? He's one of our most capped, in the Premier League. This is what I mean. Palace leave players here too long, so they start getting disrespected. No one wanted to disrespect Schlupp. We didn't. It's like literally, thanks for the memories, but Wharton, I need you to take him up to your home, show him around, show him the chippy.
Yeah,
I know he'll love the fish.
What a trade-off, you know?
Yeah,
you give us Adam Wharton, we give you Jeffrey Schlupp.
Yeah. Wharton, I need you to show him all the fish and chip spots, everything. Yeah, just sell it to him and yeah, let's make room for a player that can actually impact the team.
Do you find it interesting that Jeffrey Schlupp plays into Malik Diouf?
60k a week, probably wages.
Yeah, do you think it's the wages then? It's like kind of like
probably on
the wages.
Yeah, because I don't think Diouf he was probably on about $4,000 a week in Prague.
Yeah, exactly. So I guess
on the balance sheet
transferred over kind of thing. I think that's what the story is indicating rather than transfer fee or anything because it'll be loan signing anyways.
The balance sheet might look better with
and I wouldn't mind that. £20 million asking price according to Alan Nixon. Palace are not willing to pay that much. That's more than what we're willing to pay for. Of course, we're going to say that. We're not going to say, we would be happy paying £20 million. But do you think that could delay things if Prague want to be stubborn and Palace don't want to pay that much?
I think it didn't help that the fact that Spurs have just given him £15 million or £12.5 million. I think maybe it goes, we bid 12.5, you say 20, we meet at 15.5, maybe, hopefully. But listen, if the deal ain't there to be done, move on. That's it.
Yeah, we ain't got time to waste. We
Yeah,
ain't
no
got time to waste. That's the problem. Like we need to bring in players, and Glasner said it as well so many times, and I always say this in every stream. But if he said it more than once, and this is a manager who was not happy with the summer window in terms of the signings and the timings of the signings, then let's not repeat the same mistake. So sit on the table and just get that deal over and sorted. Because I do think the left wing back position will be the first one that we sort. But yeah, as you said, if they want 20, we offer 12 and a half, maybe 15 to 17 million pounds. We can find an agreement in between. So I'm not worried about that. But Schlupp, that's positive news. I think that's like steps in the right direction. Because as you've said, there's nothing wrong with Schlupp. He's a great servant to the football club. However, what we've done over the years is keep players beyond their staying point. Because I personally feel like it's just a cheap option. Sometimes we go down the cheap option route, which I'm just not happy with because they don't really offer anything to the squad. So yeah, and the fact that Blackburn want Jeffrey Schlupp says everything about it. If you're trying to aim for top half or top 7, Premier League clubs don't want him. So why would you have this player in the squad coming off the bench?
Blackburn, he's a flying wigger, man. Come get him. He's unbelievable.
Exactly. He is. I wonder how
no Palace fans. I don't want any Palace fans downplaying him on Twitter. We need to push his stocks up.
Colin's saying, is that pounds or euros? I guess you're asking about the left wing back. It's pounds according to Alan Nixon, but that could be a mistranslation as well.
So 25 million euros.
It does say pounds, but I assume it might even be euros. You never know. But yeah, let's see what happens with that. But maybe Jeffrey Schlupp, this might be the last month. If not, then he's gone over in the summer. So hopefully he finds a spot. I think for his benefit, because I was thinking, would you want to leave Palace to go Blackburn? But I guess he needs to prove himself for that next contract. So for that reason, he might be open for a loan move because he's not going to get many opportunities at Palace as it is and hasn't done so far. So he might be open to it. At first, I was a bit hesitant. Then when I thought about it, it does make sense for him as well. Like the ball's not really in his court. He kind of needs to prove himself to other football clubs because he doesn't have a future at Palace. So yeah.
He needs to get away from the London lifestyle, man.
Yeah, and that is a bit, I mean, no disrespect to anyone who lives in Blackburn, but yeah, it is different. Yeah, it is different. You can ask Adam Wharton if you need to. Even though Adam Wharton, to me, seems like a guy who just always stays at home. But yeah, I don't know his personal life. Let's move on to the next bit of story, and that is on Rob Holding. Potential exit for Rob Holding, people. It could happen. According to Alan Nixon, as I've said, Frank Lampard wants Rob Holding at Coventry City and is trying to persuade the player to make the move. Palace would, of course, let Rob Holding go out on loan for games after he fell out with the ushering coach. This one, I'm not as sure about because Rob Holding is earning a living. He's got his wages at Palace. Does he really need to move? Does he really want to play? It depends on if Rob Holding wants to play football. If he wants to play football, then I guess he can move to Coventry City. Still decent level Championship. Maybe he might feel disrespected to move down to the Championship after move from Arsenal to Palace to Coventry. But I don't know who else really wants Rob Holding, especially in the Premier League. For you, do you see a Rob Holding exit, even if it's on loan?
To be honest, he can listen. Just get him out of the club. Just get him out of the club. It's just wasting space.
The thing is, you can't just kick him out. It's not like it's
wasting like, training kit, wasting bibs, wasting food in the canteen. Just selling.
Well, he's with the under-21s. Maybe he's teaching a few things for the under-21s. Apparently, he's been a professional for the under-21s. I think that's what I heard. I can't remember from where, but
I'd be professional if I was getting paid 30 grand a week to train with the young kids.
Yeah. Anyone know how much Rob Holding is on? I'm not
too much.
Sure. Yeah, too much. I mean, the fact that he's not being considered as a squad player is just too much because he has no value to Palace. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't know where his mind frame's at. It makes sense if he's going out on loan to get some game time at Coventry City under Frank Lampard. But does he want that? It's up to him. It's up to him. I agree with Daniel, though. Get Schlupp and Holding out. And I mean that with all due respect because both players are not going to help us. I don't want players in the squad that are there for the sake of it. Stephen's saying good shop window for Schlupp and any other senior pro loaned out. Makes sense, even if you pay a big percentage of their wages. Get him out. He won't be playing for us again under Glasner. Not even just under Glasner. I don't think Rob Holding will be playing for us just full stop. It seems like even if Glasner was to leave, God forbid that happens, I mean, we have to be doing better than Rob Holding. Clearly, there's a reason why Coventry are after Rob Holding and no other Premier League club is after him. I mean, we signed him for nothing, peanuts. I think like £1 million or a few mil. So it's nothing. So it's not like we made like a massive loss out of it. But there's no point. There's no point of keeping him in the squad. By the way, if you haven't already done so, people, please hit the like button if you are enjoying the stream. Let's see how many likes we're on. And also, if you have any questions before we wrap up, feel free to send them through right now and we'll answer them. Put a Q and a dot before it, and then we'll answer all of the questions. But yeah, in terms of outgoings, potential outgoings there, 2 of them, which I'll be happy with, and incomings, seems like a few rejections and a few confusions, especially with Jobe Bellingham and Andy Diouf, not Melik Diouf. So yeah, let's see what happens. We're on 66 likes, about 114 watching. Let's see if we can get to 70 or 80 at least. Are there any questions? Let's see. Loaning Schlupp is no use for us. He's a free agent in the summer. I guess it frees up space in the squad because I do think Schlupp is going to be dropped out of the squad very soon, especially when Walton is back and France is back. I was looking at the bench the other day and I was thinking, who's really going to drop out? Kapora can. I don't think Deveni will drop out because Deveni was ahead of Jeffrey Schlupp. So, you know, it does still make sense. I get it. He'll be a free agent in summer, but even if we get a percentage of, you know, his wages paid for by Blackburn or get a loan fee, the fact that we get money for him and he's not going to be used by us, I think it makes a bit of sense, no?
Listen, we'll pay 5% of his wages. Pay 5% of his wages, he can go. Like, he's of no use to us whatsoever.
Exactly. I'll be honest, I'm at that mind for him as well. Even if it's 5%, that 5% is better than nothing because
take him for free.
Take it for free. Yeah, and I think Palace will, of course, have an agreement as well. As Colin's saying, hit the like button, people. Are there any questions? No questions? What do you make of the game yesterday, by the way? Because, of course, we didn't have you for the match reaction.
It was disjointed for 30, 40 minutes. I feel like the atmosphere was quite flat, but that was probably to do with the fact that the team didn't really give us much to go off on. I thought Chelsea's tactics were good, pressed us well. When Glasner finally got them in and tweaked it, we looked like the much better team. Still, he's working wonders with a team that's playing, same team that's playing week in, week out. I think the best players were Munoz, Mateta, Gahey. I feel like Mitchell had an underrated game. Not great going forward, but great defensively. Yeah, I think
you struggled in the first half though defensively.
Yeah. Neto's a great player though, so it is what
he is. He is, but we just need the wing back because do
you think? Are you bringing in a wing back to start straight away? They won't start straight away.
Yeah, they need to. What's the point? Well, what's the point?
I don't think they will start straight away ahead of Mitchell.
Why not?
I think they might come on for him after Mitchell might actually get to come off after 50, 60 minutes, but
probably won't take long. How long did it take with Lacroix and a few other players?
That was different. That was like...
You can look at the sample size, no?
No,
Nketiah hasn't been starting as much. Kamada did.
Yeah, but Kamada's only starting because there was no players.
I don't know. Let us know in the chat what you lot think. But I think if we sign a left wing back, we need to start him. That's the problem.
If Diouf comes in, he will not start straight away.
How long would it take? He's going to start sooner rather than later. He might not start the next game against Leicester if he was to come in, but he might start the game up. Like, surely he's going to start sooner rather than later.
He would have to come. He would have to show a great cameo or do really well coming off the bench. He would have to earn his spot.
Yeah, but then you can earn it in training as well.
I think he would have to perform in the game to get picked. That's just me personally, because at least Mitchell, he doesn't execute everything that we want, but at least Glasner knows what he's going to get.
Yeah, I guess so.
Unless you're signing a ready-made 23, 24-year-old left wing back, like, I know he's quite injury prone, like, but if we said, okay, we'll take Ben Chilwell. Let's just say we had a loan spot on Ben Chilwell. Everyone knows Ben Chilwell can play that. Everyone knows he's a seasoned Premier League player. He could come in and start straight away. Diouf is coming from the Czech league. He's 19 years old.
Yeah, but Munoz came in and started straight away because we had a problem at
27 years old, and there was no right back, and we didn't have a right back.
Yeah, but Diouf has had the experience playing in the Europa League.
Yeah, but he's 19.
Yeah, but then if you're good enough, you start.
And Munoz was a seasoned Colombian international.
He started Corpora against Arsenal in the Carabao Cup, and that's an academy
Yeah,
player that's had no senior first team appearances. Like this is a player that does have first team
but that was
appearances.
I don't. Yeah, but he wouldn't. I don't think Juff will come in and displace. He will have to displace Mitchell himself. He won't do it straight. Like
I think he starts this season. I think he starts this
ask the
season.
chat. Ask the chat if they, no. Ask the chat if they think Juff will come in and start straight away ahead of.
Well, yeah, I'll
I
look at the
think.
chat. Let's answer this question, and then I think people are already sending in their thoughts. Send it through, people, and I'll go through the comments.
I'm not. I'm not saying Juff isn't better than Mitchell. I'm just saying I don't think Juff will come in and start straight away.
Then we're gonna have the same problems.
Yeah, but that's. I thought he'll have to learn the system, learn the players.
Yeah, maybe it might take a month or two, but he's gonna have to start some point this season. There's no way we wait till the summer.
Month or two is March.
Well, Feb, March, I don't know. He's gonna start. He's gonna have to start sometime soon. Like I can't wait for the rest of the season. We've had the same problems all season long.
See what the chat says. What they think.
Yeah, let's see. Let me answer this question. Well, let's answer this question from Aiden saying, would you make wholesale changes at the weekend or keep a strong side? With all due respect, we can make a change. No, you can rotate and still keep a strong side if you put into context who we're facing. So if you rotate and start Kamada and Nketiah against Stockport, that's still a strong side to go and beat Stockport, for example. Or if you bring in Chado Riyad or Chris Richards, that's still like rotation, but it's strong enough to start. So
I would have the spine still have some sort of strength to it. I would play one of Lacroix or Gahey. I'd play one of them for 56. I would ease off their training and I would have the game be their intensity. So maybe give them Thursday, Friday off, but then let them play 50, 60 minutes on the Sunday. Because if you want to go through, Stockport are going to come with 4,000 or 5,000 fans. They're going to be playing at 100%. The stadium ain't going to be full up for us. There's not going to be some great atmosphere. If you played Richards, Klein, and Riyad, that's a recipe for disaster with Matt Turner in goal.
Yeah. I don't think he'll rotate that much. I think there'll be a mix. But for example, Nketiah will start.
Okay, I would like to see like
Kamada ahead of Eze.
Yeah, and I wouldn't mind seeing Agbanoni play. I wouldn't mind seeing Corpora play. But then
I don't think you'll do that.
If you think Munoz plays, or you think Klein plays right wing back,
you might
honestly. Stockport players can rinse Klein, 100%.
Yeah, he might rotate it there, but even then, I don't think he'll rotate it as much because it's a Saturday game. We got Leicester. We got week off, and then afterwards we got Leicester on Wednesday night. But yeah, so it's not like there's too many games.
That's what I said, as in like maybe ease off the training, like not as intense training, and use the Stockport game as part of. Do you know what I mean? Give them a Sunday off, but make them play 50, 60 minutes. They get there that way. They've still got some minutes in their legs going into Leicester.
The midfield, we can't rotate really. That's the problem. We can't really rotate because we don't have that many options.
Would you play Decore to get some minutes in him?
Yeah. I'm starting Decore again. I don't know what you made of him.
Maybe Decore, Deveni.
Yeah. I guess so. You can give Lerma a rest. And I don't think. I don't think we'll need Lerma's physicality against Stockport. I don't know. I'm gonna actually have our opposition preview with a Stockport fan, so can find out more about them.
Yeah.
That should be posted later on next week. But
yeah, they will be up for it completely. This is like their biggest game.
Yeah, and I think Glasgow will be up for it as well. I think he'll rotate it, but not like rotate it all. But like I think Nketiah is starting. I think he might still start Lacroix, but you might have Chado Riyad if he's fit or Richards start. I don't know. But yeah.
There's two ways of approaching these games. Sometimes what teams do, they end up then they put all the big hitters on the bench, and then the game's a struggle. They end up having to bring all the hitters on to try and salvage the game. Or you start with a stronger team, try go 2-3-0 ahead, then take people off.
Yeah, it could be. I think it'll be. I still think he won't rotate everyone. Like he's not going to be like a Turner. I guess could start.
Might probably be like Norwich, the Norwich game. But that Mateta started that one, so maybe not.
Yeah. But we didn't have Nketiah then.
Okay, yeah, maybe. Yeah. What was the Norwich lineup?
I was at that game. I think Chado Riyad started.
Yeah.
He got injured in the Norwich game. I'll try to find the lineup. Let me go through some of the comments about the left wing back. So Tim saying, wait, does he think Diouf starts over Mitchell before the end of the season? That seems very unlikely. I don't think it is very unlikely. I'll be honest, but that's me. especially with Mitchell's. I don't think Mitchell's been awful, but going forward, he does. Yeah.
Okay, Louis, what if Josh starts and he's just a deer in headlights? Then what?
Yeah, but then if he starts and is a deer in headlights, then he needs to learn from that. You're going to learn on the go. You're not going to learn.
So are you gonna throw him in the deep end, or are you gonna let him come on for 20 minutes, 30 minutes?
Well, look, we need ready-made players. So if Glasgow doesn't think Diouf is ready to come into the side and play, then we're not going to sign him.
Fair enough.
Like, I think if we're signing anyone, then Glasgow must think, all right, cool, they can contribute to the squad. When he's young, yes, I agree, he's young, but he's got experience. He's not coming from another academy. Like, he's got first team experience. So I do think eventually,
he could come and he could be amazing, but I mean,
yeah, Diouf would need to adjust to the league. Says Warren. So a lot of people agree with you there. James saying if we sign a wing back, he'll start. Believe me, Mitchell's not a wing back. I agree as well. He's a full back, not a wing back. With Mitchell, it's all about what Glasner thinks and wants. But yeah, Glasner's already said it. Like, he's not going to be that guy going forward. He said it in his pre-match press conference. What game was it? Like a couple games ago. Benteke is a GOAT, saying you're right. But yeah, Tim is saying Munoz was playing with top internationals, very different situation. And David agrees with you as well. And Colin saying, regardless, he'll start. The main thing is we finally have 2 players in that position.
Yeah, because if it pushes Mitchell, if Mitchell's not doing what he's doing, hook him off, play Josh. If Josh doesn't play well, then he didn't take his opportunity. It's back to Mitchell. And then until one of them starts exceeding and performing exactly what we need, that's going to be the person who starts.
And
but at least we know what we're getting with Mitchell. I
know. If worst case scenario, then we can go back to Mitchell if he struggles that much. Start him. If he struggles that much, and you can get Mitchell back. Let's see what.
What else will help? What else will help Mitchell? If someone actually showed him options sometimes, because so many times he gets the ball and nobody is showing for him, and he's isolated.
Yeah, but I'm not gonna. I don't know. I don't know about that. I don't know about that.
No.
He's not as comfortable on the ball.
At least Munoz, when he has the ball, Sarr will run in behind. Sarr has pace. He'll run in behind. He'll give him that option. Glasner even said it in his conference after the game. Munoz and Sarr allow us to play direct. When Mitchell has it, he has one ball, the clipped one into Mateta or the inside pass.
Yeah, but that's the thing. He's not as comfortable on the ball. He needs to release the ball straight away. That's the problem.
No, Eze doesn't make enough runs for him.
When Munoz gets on the ball, he can run with the ball. Mitchell doesn't.
It bubbles everywhere sometimes. Listen,
he still runs with it. He still runs down the line. With Mitchell, he's not as comfortable. He needs to release it straight away. Even against Chelsea, he just turning around. Like, he's not as comfortable.
I understand that, but Mitchell does not get enough help on his side. If you recognise that's the way Mitchell plays, then it needs to be adapted. If that's
so you're blaming Mitchell's form this season on Eze not giving him the options then?
No, I'm saying
Mitchell, when Glasgow first came in, was actually decent, and now all of a sudden, I just think
because Eze's form hasn't been great.
Huh?
When Eze's form's dipped, Mitchell's form's dipped.
But I think Eze's form's dipped as a result of Mitchell's form.
No way.
Yes, it is, because it's easier to defend against.
No, Eze's form's dipped because Elise is gone and he's being man-marked and our whole system's changed.
Yeah, but then if we have a wing back who's a genuine attacking threat, for example, Munoz gets mentioned a lot, but because Munoz can attack. I know, yes, he's not great in front of goal and his crosses at times.
Eze's form's not because of Mitchell.
He's more of a threat. No, it's easier to mark Eze.
Yeah, but it's not Eze's form. You cannot blame on Mitchell. No way.
Mitchell does play a part to it. It's not just Mitchell. Mitchell does play a part to it, as well as another number 10.
I don't believe it's Mitchell's fault. I don't believe that.
I think.
Chat in the chat. Do you think Eze's form's dipped because Elise is not there and we're playing more direct, or do you think it's because?
I think it's a combination of both. But Mitchell does play a part to it. He does play a part.
Yeah, but does Eze help Mitchell?
Huh?
Eze help Mitchell.
Yeah, but Eze is not. I don't know.
Even yesterday, Eze couldn't get near Gusto defensively.
But was that instructions?
I don't know, but I'm saying Mitchell has a lot of workload. Like he
does defensively, and normally he is good defensively. But I think as a
Eze's playing in his position. Eze's playing in his position. Mitchell ain't.
Well, yeah. Yeah, I guess so.
See what
But
they say in the
I
chat,
still think another wing back. Let's see if we get Diouf. Let's see what happens. But
innit?
I do think it changes it. I do think Mitchell, not Mitchell. I think Eze, his performances will improve if we have an attacking threat down the left hand side. And I mean a threat. Like Mitchell can
Eze's got
attack,
to raise
but
his
I don't think he's a threat.
raise his own game. He's got a standard. He needs to raise his own game. He needs to adapt his game.
Yeah, there's certain things. Of course, you can't just blame it, or you can't point fingers on Elise and Mitchell. Eze needs to do certain things right himself, but I think other players around him does 100% have an impact because it's easier to defend against.
Yeah, I understand that, but if you're a really good player, you're not. I can only play well if this is like this and this is like this.
Yeah, but that's the
like
thing.
that.
We knew that Eze, for example, if Eze goes to the top side, I think it can still be a quality player. We've seen Eze with Elise and Eze without Elise when Elise was out injured. And still there. You know, Eze with Elise is a different kind of player without Elise. How was that?
You had Ayew.
Yeah, Ayew. Eze without Elise, though, we knew this from day. Like, Elise is a different level of player to Eze is because Elise, I don't think Elise would need Eze to play at the level, but I think Eze would need Elise, for example, and we're seeing it right now.
What are they saying in the chat? Anyone?
In the chat, let's see. Eze and Mitchell rarely connect and link up. I think that plays a part. For example, Luke saying we need a proper left wing back to support Eze. Mitchell's very good versus top six sides, in my opinion. But if we can get a proper left wing back, then we see more fluid. Colin saying Ebbs runs are mostly inside Mitchell, then behind him towards the touchline. Louis saying teams leave Tyreek open and make the passing lanes because they know he can't run with the ball. Sorry, at Chelsea, 100%. At Chelsea, they wanted Mitchell to get on the ball. Yeah, and it worked when Mitchell got on the ball.
But is it they're doing that, but they also know Eze and no one's making a run in behind that side. So it's a combination of both. There was that moment where Chelsea nearly had got in behind us, and then we broke, and Ty just kind of ran in some mad diagonal direction and just ran, and there was just nothing in front of him. He didn't really know where he was going. It's just a combination of of Ty not being a left wing back and a number 10 that's not willing to make runs in behind, and who's like Sarr plays with intensity. Do you know what I mean? He'll make darting runs inside. He'll come for it short. There's different aspects to his game, whereas Eze wants it in a certain place every single time. Like, we don't get that intense run in behind for Mitchell to combine with. And if he's not a left wing back, then we kind of need someone to help him if he's playing that. We need someone to sacrifice themselves to help play with him.
Yeah. I guess so. Let's see. But for me, as much as I love Mitchell, he's not a wing back. He's a fullback.
No, he's not. He's a great fullback.
And if we sign Diouf, then he comes into the side because we're signing him with the purpose of a wing back. So there's difference.
If you told me Bestev, we signed him, he was more likely for me to come in and start over Diouf.
You know what? We're going to see how much Glazer rates Mitchell because Glazer hasn't had an option. So let's see when he gets the option. Let's see what he does. Let's see how long he keeps Mitchell there because in my head, I don't know. I think Glazer rates Mitchell to the extent of him defensively, but I think Glazer now kind of expects more from him going forward as well. So let's see. I mean, that's going to tell us how much he actually rates Mitchell. But look, people, we're going to wrap up now. Thank you to every single one of you that's joined us live. If you just joined us, go to the start of the stream. We cover all the latest news as well as the debates. We had a few debates as well. Hopefully you all have a great Sunday evening. We'll be back most likely tomorrow as the news is coming in. If you have enjoyed this, like, subscribe. Thank you to all of you that's already done that. And until next time, up the palace.